Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Update 2. Jane sent me a letter explaining what led her to cheat. This is my second update from this sub. Here you can find the original pot and the first update. Update 2. Hi again. I didn't expect to update so soon, but something important has happened. I'd like to share something that my therapist told me. Do you remember I started therapy because Jane suggested I'm having trust issues? Turns out I don't have any. I'm one step to become a very gullible person. But the therapist noticed I have a lot of insecurities due to my obesity. Since I remember I was the chubby nerdy guy at school. Never boyfriend, always best friend. I had my first girlfriend at 18 and she dumped me a week later for a better looking guy. I went to an engineering high school, so there were few ladies. My next relationship was in my 20s with a very toxic girl who blamed me for everything, even for the rain. She really did a job on me, making me feel guilty for anything that pops in her mind. Later I started working because my family had money problems and I didn't have another relationship until I met Jane at university. The previous session to the last one with my therapist, we discussed my feelings about not having kids. She has helped me to get my priorities in order. Number 1, me and everything that covers myself, like physical health, gym and eating well, intelligence, studying, learning, mental challenges, and soul, beliefs, moral, ethics. Number 2, people who lives with me, Jane. Number 3, family and friends. Number 4, work. Number 5, leisure and entertainment. Last session was about Jane. The therapist asked about my plans. I told her I will divorce Jane. She told me it is normal I'm in such distress because my priority too is crumbling. I will have to pass for similar stages of grieving death, denial, anger, bargaining, depression and acceptance. I had to Google them because I forgot them. I am in the bargaining stage because I'm thinking a lot of what ifs, e.g. what if she really is remorseful? What if we are the golden couple who will survive an infidelity? But the reality is that I will never trust her ever again. It will kill me knowing she's at home alone doing God knows what when I'm at work. Torture for me. Depression is a dangerous stage in my case because it can lead me to gain weight again. I should stick to the gym and watch my diet closely. Hope this info helps people who are grieving. Now the update. I've been very busy. I applied for a promotion at my job. I could have taken it a long time ago, but it demands lots of traveling. I feel it will help me heal to be away. Also, I've been looking for a new place to live and I found one small apartment perfect for me. I've already paid 3 months of rent in advance. I'll move as soon as possible. I haven't seen Jane since D-Day or Baldy since that Monday when, I am sure, he was fired. On the bright side, one of my neighbors, a lady in her 50s, met me in the condo's elevator. She told me she hasn't seen Jane lately. I told her we're slipping apart, and then she happens to remember she's having dinner and her single niece is coming for a few days and I'm invited. It took me by surprise. Looks like I'm in the market again. My attorney told me Jane was going to be served last Friday, but we had some festivities in my country, so she was served last Sunday morning at my in-laws' home. The following Monday somebody, Jane, I guess, slided a letter under my door. 3 sheets back and front, from Jane. Mainly explaining about what led her to cheat. Here we'll introduce the second villainess in the story, a co-worker. We'll call her Flirty. I've met her sometimes at Jane's work events, like Christmas or anniversary celebrations. She's really thin, almost skinny and usually wears a lot of makeup. Also, she thinks every man wants to sleep with her. One time she told Jane I was staring at her. I did once, because I could see her ribs and I thought she was unhealthily thin. Anyway, according to Jane's letter, when she lost weight, Flirty approached her because she wanted them to be best friends since they are the two hotties at work. That's when the brainwash started. Flirty made her think she deserves a better man. She's entitled to. She told her I was a pathetic man that will try to own her now that she's hot. When the incident with the Smith machine happened, Flirty said to Jane, see, didn't I tell you? He wants to be your owner more than your husband. Jane bought it, and due to Flirty's manipulation she was resentful to me for months. When we attended the gym at different times, Jane met Baldy accidentally at the mall and he approached her. She confessed she had a crush for a guy similar to Baldy before I met her. She never told me that before. They went for a bite and they both flirted. Jane showed Flirty Baldy's picture from FB and she told her she'll be a dumb BTCH if she didn't F him. Besides, her pathetic husband, me, doesn't compare with that Greek god. She had the opportunity, she was eager to, so she did. Baldy took her to his house that coincidentally is close to the mall where they ran into each other, so she doesn't know that's Frank's dad's home. All this happened 9 months ago. Flirty is a professional cheater. She told Jane how to cover her tracks, the work words code, to hide Baldy's contact and to hide her map tracking historial. She even told her that changing her phone password is stupid because I'll immediately suspect. Jane noticed Baldy hated it when she talked about me, and as punishment he made hickeys on her body. Now I remember she started using P-Hammer to sleep because it was cold. He used to trash me but she never played along. Meanwhile Flirty used to tell her that she's entitled to this romance and I deserve being cheated on because I'm a beta. During those months she says she liked the feeling of danger. The thrill and the sex with Baldy was good, but it also hurt her seeing me struggle trying to be a bit the husband and knowing she was the reason of my pain. It was easier to ignore me and continue with the pleasure Baldy gave her. D-Day arrives. I completely blindsided her. She thought I was clueless. I'm going to write this part just like she wrote it. I was in shock and I covered myself with the blanket by pure instinct. When I reacted, I saw you pushing and kicking Baldy out of the room and the house. When I heard you closing the door and coming back, I didn't know what to say. I have never seen you this angry before. Then you said I have never hurt you, nor will I. That's true. In the years we've known each other you have never hurt me, not even when we found out that it's my fault that we can't have children. After that she heard me crying in the spare room. She wanted to comfort me, but how could she? In the main door we have a mirror to check ourselves before going out. She looked at herself but she couldn't bear the look. When she entered her car she cried and told herself, what have I done? Baldy called her that night, but she blocked him. She arrived at Syl's house at about midnight. 2 hours later after the drama. Her house is around 40 minutes from mine. She was scared of telling Syl what happened because she's older and she has a very strong character. Next day she told Flirty what had happened. Flirty told her she should be happy that she got rid of me. I'm going to copy this part too. J, and then what? F, babe, you are free, you can have sex with Baldy or any guy you want. J, and then? F, I don't follow you. J, what will happen when I'm tired of having sex with a book of guys? F, then you can decide which one date seriously. J, and then what? F, I don't know, get married I suppose. J, but I already had a marriage. F, but it was with Op. He's a loser. I bet Baldy is 100 times better than him. J, no, that's not true. He gave me a good life. F, don't settle for so little. You can have a better man. Then they proceed to have a big fight in front of the co-workers. She can't recall it well, but she remembers swearing and yelling at her. Flirty told her that any guy hotter than me is better than me. I don't get what she has against me, but Jane realized what she destroyed. She was inconsolable and her boss let her go home early. The next day is when I showed Syl the video. Jane was babysitting Syl's twins. After I drove her home, Syl asked Jane to help her do some errands, just the two of them. That was a lie. They parked at a park and she demanded to know what was happening in her head to cheat on me. Jane cried and told her I don't know. Syl confessed she was envious of our marriage. 11 years and not a huge fight. We both looked happy. She couldn't believe her little sister was capable of such a thing. Jane was there for Syl when her ex-husband left her for another woman. Jane asked her not to kick her out, but Sil told her she can stay. After all, that house belongs to both of them, but she let her know she's very disappointed and she will side with me if I ever need her help. Jane understood. Next Sunday Jane came to apologize, but I was not home. When she received my attorney's card, she called and my attorney confirmed I hired him. She knew I was really going to divorce her, so she went to her new home and wrote a confession and sent it to everybody we both know. I started receiving messages and phone calls the following week, but I didn't want to read or answer. Now I've read some of the DM and it is what she said. Most of them want to comfort me. One of her cousins said it takes guts to confess, so I should give her a try. The following week she tried to distract herself with work, but it seems everybody now knows she cheated. If you are unfaithful, in my country people see you as an easy woman, so female co-workers don't talk to her, particularly flirty. And male co-workers are annoyingly friendly to her. She asked to be relocated, but it'll take months, so she quit her job the following Friday. She has a good amount of savings. We had our finances separated, and since I was the big earner, I paid for almost everything. Next day she was looking for me, in her words, to beg me take her back. She came here, but when she saw I wasn't home, she went to my parents. My dad refused to speak to her, but my mom was sympathetic and told her that she's sorry about all this, but her son, me, is really hurt and asked them not to talk about her anymore. Jane understood, but then went to my brother's. He told her Op is not here and frankly I don't want to talk to you, and closed the door in front of her face. She came back to her new house very sad. All last week she has been reflecting about her actions and she's been really depressed, realizing how much damage she has done to our relationship, to her family and mine. And all for meaningless pleasure coming from a douchebag that, in her words, believes vaccines are just a pharmacy scam, and believes in astrology. Yeah, Baldy is heavily tattooed, he has a Taurus sign on his arm. Sil suggested she go to therapy. I don't blame her. If my brother were in the same situation, I'd be very disappointed, but I'd try to make him realize what is wrong with him. She finally went to therapy and her therapist suggested writing me this letter and coming clean to me. So she says everything written in the letter is true. She swears on her life that if I take her back, there will be no spouse in the history of humanity more grateful, loyal and honest than her. She suggests total access to her social media, that I already had. She will always answer my calls no matter the situation, and to never have friends that I don't approve of. There are more things about family and friends that I don't think it's important to share. Besides, it needs a lot of context. Finally she pleads to meet me and let her apologize properly to my face. In her words, sorry doesn't start to describe what I'm feeling right now. What do I think of this letter? The things I can confirm is that she hasn't contacted Baldy till that Monday when he was fired, and she confessed to family and friends. The rest could be partially true also. I am sure it's been sweetened. For example, she does not mention when she called me jealous and immature. She does not mention letting Baldy do her and she lets him finish inside. She can give me all her passwords, but she lied to my face and gaslighted me for 9 months, according to her, and she was very good at it. Besides, I don't want to be her jailer. As I said, I will never trust her ever again. Whenever I see her face, I'll also see Baldy's nape in front of her. I will not be her second option, nor will I be a doormat. I haven't replied yet, but I think I'll see her next weekend. TLDR, Jane send me a letter. This is what she wrote and my reaction. We hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please help us grow, hit that like button. Have a good day or night. Wherever you are,